Hi everyone, welcome back to Storytime Recaps. In this video, I'm going to recap one of the film from 2015, The Resort. Without any further, let's get started. The world is currently recuperating after a zombie outbreak that claimed 2 billion lives. There is a place named The Resort that provides a luxurious getaway along with a unique park where visitors can shoot the last living zombies for fun. Valerie Wilton, the CEO of the company, is frequently the focus of debate and opposition because to the possible outbreak that her resort may generate.
Refugee camps surrounding it.
Especially considering that the location is adjacent to the camps operated by the charity group Hope for You. Melanie Gibbs, our main character, is a young woman attending meetings of an outbreak survivors support group in order to deal with her father's passing.
Thanks.
After hearing about someone else in the group who has been there and can vouch for it, Melanie wants to visit the resort. Lewis Evans, her lover and a former soldier, is astonished when she tells him about the plan but decides to attend anyway. A few days later they show up at the resort's lounge, where we meet the other visitors. There are a group of middle-aged businessmen, 2 teenager gamers named Jack and Alfie, and a young woman named Sadie whose fiancé failed to come up for the wedding. As they wait for the boats to be ready, a young child is seen through the window to Melanie and Lewis. Melanie, who is a resident of the refugee camp, is still in doubt that there is a problem. They take a boat to the island, and from there they take a jeep to the resort. The final visitor, silent veteran Archer, is getting into the cars with them. After being given a tour of the facilities, the group is taken to orientation, which includes a shooting range. Jack and Alfie shoot like they're playing a video game, but Lewis teaches Melanie how to shoot a gun because she's never fired one before.
Okay.
When darkness falls, all of the visitors are invited to a party by the pool, and Valerie turns up to greet everyone while a chain zombie stands behind her. However, Archer leaves before the lecture can finish because he sees Sadie leaving secretly and chooses to follow her. He witnesses her breaking into a control room, where she transfers some data into a USB stick and gains access to the security system. In the following morning, Melanie witnesses the party zombie being hauled out of the main building. It changes her perception of them. In the meantime, the engineers discover 3 corrupt files in the system, but they are reluctant to notify Valerie. Therefore, they choose to clean them up on their own without calling attention to themselves.
I'll clean the system overnight.
After getting back to the jeeps, they are given a guide. Tom Navines will be handling the Archer. As they are leaving, Melanie notices the undead in animal-like cages. One of the corrupt files acts up in the building, causing an alarm to go out, but the engineer swiftly fixes it. In addition to reminding visitors of the restrictions, the guide demonstrates to them how the park is divided into many sections, each of which is fenced off to prevent excessive zombie damage. First rule, the infection is spread via zombies' bite, not by their blood. Rule number 2 states that they move quicker the fresher they are, and rule number 3 states that they can only be killed by a shot to the head. After being led to a unique building where zombies appear to be confined to doors and windows, the businessmen shoot the zombies directly. Melanie and the others are led to the top of a cliff to allow them to shoot them from a safe distance. Sadie has decided not to take part for the time being, and Jack and Alfie's shooting is erratic and frequently misses its objectives. As ex-soldiers, Lewis and Archer consistently hit the heads, so when it is her turn, Melanie knows that the zombie she is shooting at is staring at her, so she dares not to do it. As darkness begins to descend, the groups arrive at the location where they will spend the night camping. Tents have already been prepared for them. Melanie is beginning to regret coming because she can't bring herself to murder a zombie. Lewis encourages her to give the place another shot. Archer approaches Sadie first, asking why she didn't join in. She responds that this was more of her ex-fiancé's type of activity.
Really, it's beautiful here though, right?
After that, Jack and Alfie approach her and make repeated attempts to impress her with their gaming accomplishments, but she ignores them and goes inside her tent. Since the system problems at headquarters haven't been resolved yet, Valerie requests a thorough diagnosis. The engineer discovers that last night there was an illegal entry into the system. This visitor left something behind in addition to downloading a lot of data.
Stop? I don't know.
Just as Valerie is ready to call security, the system begins to malfunction. Despite the engineers' efforts to get it under control, it only lasts a few seconds before failing again. Due to a computer malfunction, zombies confined in cages throughout the resort are freed. They target guests at the hotel and pool, as well as business people and their guide. Since the system is beyond repair, the engineer attempts to flee to the control room, but the zombies soon make their way there as well and attack every worker, either murdering or infecting them. Valerie realizes that the zombie from the welcoming party is chasing her, so she bolts inside her office and shuts the door. After numerous unsuccessful attempts to restart itself, the security system goes offline. Consequently, the Brimstone Protocol is triggered, indicating that the location would be bombarded within a few hours. Sadie and Melanie are having trouble sleeping at camp, so they have a drink together and talk about the resort's potential lack of ethics. A zombie unexpectedly approaches them, interrupting their conversation. Sadie points her gun at it while Melanie proceeds to get everyone up. She is afraid to shoot, but Archer intervenes and takes it out for her. Naveen is concerned about this change because the barrier is meant to keep the zombies at a distance. He switches on the Jeep's lights so they can see more of their surroundings and realize that a horde of zombies is approaching. As the guys guard the camp, the girls flee to hide behind a tent. Naveen enters the Jeep and attempts to call headquarters, but all he receives is a tape informing him that the Brimstone procedure has been activated. As he tries to start the car with no luck, Archer runs out of ammo. As she dashes into a tent to bring him ammo, a zombie jumps on Melanie, but Sadie pushes it off and assists Melanie in getting to the Jeep, where she throws the ammo to Archer. When he exits the vehicle, Naveen is also jumped on, but he throws the zombie away and climbs onto the top of the Jeep alongside the other visitors. Alfie is the only one missing, but when he tries to join them, the zombies attack and murder him. After the last zombie is eliminated, Archer orders everyone to stop shooting, and the group spends the night atop the Jeep. When the sun begins to rise, Archer does a reconnaissance of the area and determines that it is safe for them to descend. Lewis believes they should wait to be rescued, but Naveen tells them it won't be possible, as the entire park is shut down and the Brimstone Protocol has been triggered. Archer wishes to depart and attempt to board a boat, but Naveen believes he won't be able to arrive in time. However, when Melanie suggests that there might be a faster road, Naveen pulls out a park map and discovers a path that could save them time. Before the group leaves to follow Archer to the dock, Jack puts his jacket over Alfie's face and removes his bracelet. While the group walks around the park, Melanie tries to reassure Lewis, who is uneasy since the current circumstance is reminding him of the war. Sadie tries to befriend Jack in an attempt to make up for his poor beginnings by expressing sympathy for him. While Archer continues to lead the way, Lewis wonders who made him the leader, to which Archer replies they did when they decided to follow him. They are finally approaching the enclosed area, when a zombie leaps on them. After killing it fast, Naveen becomes irate upon learning that the creature was one of his fellow guides. He questions how this is possible given that the security is meant to be unbreakable. Jack claims that it must be the fault of a hacker and that it might have originated online, but it's more likely an inside job, which leads Sadie to believe that she is to blame. When they reach it, they discover a Jeep has slammed into the fence, obstructing the door. One by one, they had to squeeze their bodies between the Jeep and the fence in order to cross it. Another horde of zombies suddenly appears. In order to shoot them, Archer and Naveen remain a few paces behind, while the others cross the barrier. Inside the damaged Jeep is a zombie that awakens unexpectedly and tries to bite Melanie. However, when Sadie kills it, Lewis is able to take the gun that was in the car and assist with the defense. After everyone has successfully gotten through the barrier, Archer and the Naveens cross it, but a zombie also invades and bites the Naveens. Melanie comforts him that everything will be alright as he becomes irrational, but Lewis intervenes and shoots him in the head, infuriating Melanie. Eventually, the group locates the building where the businessman had a good time. Before she enters the park, Archer forces Sadie to reveal her true purpose. She says she has downloaded certain data to obtain sufficient evidence of unethical behavior to shut it down, and that she is working with a group of undead rights activists. She believes she simply used some codes and encrypted data to gain access to the system. Jack claims she has been duped and that whatever tool she used to download the data also uploaded something malicious to ruin the resort. Both he and Lewis blames her for everything, but Melanie stays sympathetic and promises her that they won't leave her behind. The crew enters the abandoned buildings in search of a safe method to reach the headquarters and discovers the businessmen's bodies. They gaze through the windows and saw the zombies approaching them quickly due to the fact that they are new victims. Archie, Melanie, and Lewis enter another hallway, but Sadie and Jack can't make it across in time to join them before the zombies come. Thus, they decide to meet at the exit and go in the opposite direction. The three of them exit the building without any problems, and Lewis is ready to leave. But Melanie stops him and asks him to wait for the other two. As they are being pursued by zombies, Jack and Sadie attempt to escape an empty room where one zombie is still confined. They approach the zombie, thinking it to be dead, but it wakes up and bites Sadie. As a result, she chooses to give herself up so that Jack can get away. She gives him her USB stick before he runs away, and the zombies take her. As the zombies pursue Jack, he returns to the others, and they quickly cross a fence into a safe location, shutting the doors behind them. When she inquired about Sadie, Jack only offered to give Melanie the USB stick.
We need to go. Now.
With just 1 hour till the bombing begins, when the four of them eventually make it inside the resort building, they decide to enter a darkened room because it's the only door they can open. Inside, there is blood on the walls and floor, resembling a cattle run that trembles in the approach of zombies. After running through the railings, the group reaches an oven area with extremely hot walls and a gate that Archer must push open. They exit the oven and enter a regular room, confused about what all this means. When a zombie leaps from the ceiling and approaches Jack, Archer shoots it. But it's too late, Jack has already been bitten. Upset and crying, Melanie has to look away while Archer kills him too. They leave the room and walk into the infirmary surrounded by the Hope for tent. They become aware that the resort has been creating more zombies by using the refugees to keep them slow by aging them in the oven. Suddenly, the little girl Melanie saw when she first arrived appears behind a tent, but she has turned into a zombie. When they see another horde ahead, they flee back inside. As the chase begins, Archer and Melanie use their bodies to hold the door closed. However, Lewis manages to get away by scaling a chain that dropped from the hole where a zombie had previously landed on them. Melanie can't believe he's left them, and Archer tells her to follow him while he holds on to the door. She accepts after some hesitation. When she climbs to the top and peers through the hole, she sees Archer telling her to make sure that the Sadie data is exposed before he opens the door and enters the fray. With just 15 minutes to go before the bombing, Melanie dashes through numerous halls and, after stealing the gun from a dead on the floor, and arrives at one of the resort's many luxury suites, which are filled with zombies and corpses. Suddenly, Lewis appears and shuts a door behind them. He then tells Melanie that he is sorry for abandoning her before revealing that he has been bitten. Melanie points a gun at him, though she can't bring herself to shoot him. So, she gives him a gun and lets him handle it on his own. As the army of zombies bursts into the room, Melanie then takes another gun off a body and flees till she reaches the control room. Then, out of nowhere, a door opens and a hand pulls her into another room. This is all Valerie is doing when she brings her into her office. However, Melanie calls her a monster for what she does, and Valerie reminds her that she paid for it before attempting to grab her pistol. When the zombies hear the ladies fighting over the weapon, they enter the office and begin to feed on Valerie. The others chase Melanie as she flees the room. The countdown to the bombing reaches 0 right before Melanie makes it outside. She keeps running as jets arrive to drop bombs all over the place, and zombies pursue her. Fortunately, she reaches the cliff's edge quickly enough to dive into the ocean before the entire island is blasted away. 3 weeks later, we find out that the cause of the entire tragedy is still unknown to investigators. After surviving, Melanie now makes an appearance on television, sharing all of the data that Sadie collected.
It's on all of us.
She isn't the only survivor. though, as Archer has also managed to get away and proudly observes her on television. As a news journalist offers commentary on the most recent advancements in the resort case, a horde of zombies comes out of the sea at the resort's beach, ending the transmission. Thanks for watching, and remember to turn on your notifications to watch more movie recaps like this one.